Ready to cut your vinyl plank flooring just like a professional or like Sideshow Bob? What's good, everybody? It's Michael Alder here from CarpetExpertBlueprint.com, and in this video I'm going to share with you how to cut vinyl plank flooring the long way without having to use a saw, nothing but a knife and a scrap piece of vinyl plank flooring. So the piece that you see I'm cutting into is the piece that's going to fit along the wall there. I set it right on top of the next plank that's already locked in perfectly, and then I have that scrap piece there sitting on top, which is net with the corner and runs directly along the wall. The reason I'm doing this, if I trace that perfectly from the marks on the wall there, in theory, when I drop in my plank, it will plop right into place. So there's no measuring necessary, anything like that. We're just using total hex style template to cut this in. Now, the reason I'm setting on the plank here, just because I want to finish that line out straight to the end and get my rough template out. So I scored it all the way down. Now I'm going to take, and not aggressively, just nice and easy, I'm going to bend it nice and easy till it starts to break along that line. If you get too aggressive, you could snap all the way through. You're going to be super mad and you got to start over again. We don't want that. So go ahead and just wiggle it back and forth. And if you got to help with the knife a little bit along the way, go ahead and do that. And like I said, just nice and easy finesse, and you'll be able to eventually pull it apart as you break it down. Now, the camera view didn't pick up everything there, but all I was doing was wiggling it back and forth. It snapped off. We're good to go. Now, you see, that's exactly how I had it there before. Just lined up perfectly, and then I traced out that wall. And if I was to slide it forward, it would plop into place. But I do have that door jamb hitting over there. So I'm lining up the one side. Now we're right in front of the door jamb, and I'm going to go ahead and template out what's going on right here. One thing to keep in mind, when you're cutting around door jambs, you want to use an undercut saw or a multi-tool to cut out under that to get a little wiggle room so you get a nice clean cut going under the door. There is no point in trying to trace out every little nook and cranny on the door, because you're going to mess it up, especially if you're new to the game. It just is not an easy thing to do, so the best route is to cut under it, and then you could slide the plank under for a beautiful finish. Now, I did the same exact thing there, just kind of did a rough score with my knife, and then I snapped it out, once again, wiggling it back and forth real slow. So, in theory, we have the rough template ready to rock. We may have to shave it a little more. I can't remember if we had to or not in this case, but I'm lining up the one side. Now I'm going to go back to the other end to make sure my side seam is butt up nice and evenly there. And if it is, we're going to start working this plank right into place. In this particular video, I didn't speed up at all, just because I wanted you to be able to see every little bit of what goes into this. And if you have a tricky plank or something like that, a couple things you could do to lock them into place here. So we're lined up on the side. We're lined up lengthwise here. Now I'm going to get my pry bar, wherever that ran off on me, and my hammer, and I'm just going to pull off of that back wall. And sometimes the seam just won't lock into place. You got to work with it a little bit. And a lot of times I will take a hammer and just lightly tap on the seam as I'm applying pressure with the pry bar off of the wall, and that will pop it into place for me. So that's another thing. You do not want to be aggressive swinging that hammer there, because if you get crazy with it, you could chip your plank, and then you're all the way back to square one, and you've made it so far. We're 4 minutes into this here. You do not want to start all over again. So just work it all the way down. Just tap it into place, nice and easy. Boom, boom, boom. Work it, finesse it, make it happen. We're going to tap that down some more. We should be good there, hopefully. And then work all the way back around to the other side seam. Now, you may be able to not see it real well in this video, but I'm using a little scrap plank as well so I don't damage the baseboards in certain areas where they may be soft. If there's no stud there and it's a choppy, crappy baseboard and you put too much pressure on it, you could blow it right through the wall. So keep that in mind as well. You could always stick a dummy plank behind the pry bar to help support that baseboard just a little bit more. Now, I am creating my own tapping block here right now because I want to give it a little oomph to lock in the main section there. So no need to buy expensive tools. Tap, tap, tap. That dropped right down. We're good there. I'm going to go ahead and tap in this other section. Boom, boom, boom. Good to go. Now I should be able to tap my seam together, and we're finished. That's all there is to it. So if you have any questions about this, as always, go ahead and comment below. I'll create a follow-up video for you answering your question. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll connect with you on the next one.